The organized labor has said it will hold its planned nationwide protest on Wednesday, despite Monday rollout of subsidy removal palliative plan by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. President Tinubu had in a national broadcast unveiled about 500 billion naira palliative for manufacturers, small businesses and farmers. He also released plans to increase salaries and also acquire 3,000 mass transit buses. He said his administration planned to invest 100 billion between now and March 2024 to acquire 3,000 units of 20-seater CNG fueled buses. The buses, he said, will be shared to major transportation companies in the states. Using the intensity of travel per capita, and the participating transport companies will be able to access credit under the facility or to facilitate a 9% annum with 60 months repayment period. Again, manufacturers, medium and small-scale enterprises and farmers will get a whopping 500 billion naira share of the palliative that will be rolled out. He also talked about plans to support cultivation of 500,000 hectares of farmland with over 200 billion naira. He said the administration will also spend 75 billion between July 2023 and March 2024 to strengthen the manufacturing sector, increase its capacity to expand and create good-paying jobs. As 50 billion on conditional grants to 1 million nano businesses between now and March of 2024, amongst other palliatives. Mr. President maintained that his predecessor did not make provision for fuel subsidy beyond June 2023. And he further underscored the positive impact of the removal of the subsidy, saying that it has increased the government revenue. He explained that over 1 trillion naira had been saved during 2 months, which the government has done. Where the government would also channel this same 1 trillion into education loans and other programs. But the big question and the big story for today is all these measures coming a bit too late and not enough to pacify labor, and is it really, and if really implemented, would they truly help to cushion the effect of subsidy removal and make Nigerians breathe again? Well, these and more is what this edition of the Big Story is all about, as we look at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu palliative plan and the organized labor plan strike. That's what we're having as a major discourse today on the Big Story. We're looking at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's palliative plan and the planned strike by organized labor. Well, that's what we're going to have today, and to truly help us talk about this, I'm being joined in the studio by no other but an economist and a comrade in his rights, and I'm talking of no other person but Comrade Efe Odomo. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Oh, yes, there is no tide in the affairs of men. And when the wind whistles by, the trees must bend to let them pass.
Well, anyway, I'm getting more confused with that, but I'm sure we'll really try to understand the palliative being given by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And also joining us all the way from Abuja is no other person but Barrister Ejuru Etagene. Will be also giving us an insight into this proposed palliative plan of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the proposed strike by organized labor. I don't know if he's there. Hello, good morning to you, sir. Hello. Okay, we'll try and see if we bring him on board. We'll definitely be going through some of the majors with him as we try to connect. I would love to be in the studios with us today, but because of some majors, he has to be in Abuja on account of it. But anyway, when he's with us, we'll definitely bring him to the discussion. But let's quickly come to you now, Comrade Efe Odomo. Now, Joe Ajaero said shortly after talks between organized labor and the Presidential Steering Committee on palliative meeting yesterday that organized labor would go on the strike tomorrow. So my question is it that the palliative rolled out by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is coming too little too late, or you feel labor, and by extension Nigerians, are tired of everything irrespective of the robust palliative or not?
Thank you so much, Mike. Everybody has different thinking faculty.
Yes.
If we are toiling along the line of coming a bit too late, government is a system that several factors have to be taken into consideration before any major decision is taken. the country as of today is vexed over this price increase. And you do not expect a sitting government or a responsible government to just come up with measures. What should have been done, which they did not do, that is culminating into all this, is that they will have had a robust roundtable conference with all the gladiators in the economy and let them, everybody make their input. This is what we want to do as a government. Now let this, the Labour Congress, the TUC, and other bodies now make their input. If you are going this way, Mr. President, or the presidency, this is what we expect to get.
So are you saying it's coming too late?
Hello.
The palliative is a bit coming, not
okay.
the palliative actually.
Yeah.
The measure of which the presidency is bringing is coming a bit too late.
Okay, it looks as if we're now finally being joined by no other person but Barrister Ejiro Etagene. He's joining us all the way from Abuja. Barrister Etagene, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, nice having you join us. I do understand all of these issues are over the reason you are there. A quick one to you. Yeah, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave out a very robust plan yesterday on account of palliative to cushion the effect of the removal of the fuel subsidy. But even before that meeting, we had Joe Ajero saying irrespective of what they will listen or hear from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the strike will still go on tomorrow. So my question now is it that the palliative is coming too little too late, or what do you feel, judging that Labour is still going ahead with the proposed planned strike tomorrow?
Yes, well, there have been misfeelings by Nigerians with respect to the palliatives. Some persons believe that there should be no palliatives, that palliative is another avenue to empower party faithfuls, relatives, and friends.
Okay.
So the government is also careful. Government designed a program of paying 6,000 naira to 8,000 naira to some households, and a lot of Nigerians criticize it. So, and then what would the government do? The government went back to the drawing board to see how to. Somebody's talking there.
No, go ahead.
Yes, so the government went back to the drawing board to see how to cushion the effect of the subsidy of Nigerians. Human beings are very difficult to satisfy. So to my mind, I feel that the Nigerians, you allow the government to do its best. You allow the government to do its best to ameliorate the suffering of the people.
Okay.
There is nothing that people will not criticize. Even if government increases this money to 50,000 to household, people will still criticize it because of human imperfection. So I believe that we should allow this government to, try its best to do what it can to reduce the suffering we are going through now.
Okay,
what we are going through in Nigeria now, what we are going through in Nigeria now, is not peculiar to us. All African countries are going through it. They have been going through it long time ago. We are just going through it now. Our neighboring countries, Ghana, Benin Republic, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, they have been going through it for a long time.
So stated by Ejiro, but I'll plead with you to hold on. And I want us to rather take this discussion deep and look at the different palliatives being proposed by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as he read it out yesterday. Now, let's look at the impact that most of these palliatives will have. And I first want us to start with that of transportation, which is a key driver of the economy, both for goods and services. And with the proposed plan of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he said he will spend about 100 billion naira to roll out about 3,000 CNG fuel mass transit buses in states and local government councils between now and March of 2024. And they would have been 20-seater mass transit buses. And he said it would also be shared to major transport companies in the states. That will be participating transport companies will be even able to access credit under a facility of 9% per annum with 60 months repayment period, which many will say it's a good plan. But my question is, will it be well implemented, which is another major question? And do you see really these helping to cut down on transportation fare and majorly goods and services in the country?
If you ask me to to respond to this.
Yeah.
To my mind, I am not. I would say the government should not even do any palliative, because
transport.
at the end of the day, you have said it all. You have set the question. You have given an answer. Implementation becomes an issue. When it comes to implement Nigeria, when it comes to implementation, we are zero. Who will handle these transport lines, and of what effect? Let me take it the other way around.
Okay.
What percentage increment have we experienced from the increment of, from the removal of the fuel subsidy, which occasioned the rise in the price per liter of fuel?
Okay.
The percentage is not commensurate with the percentage increase from the initial price of the fuel per liter to what it is today. What I'm trying to say is that it gradually, for example, I put it this way, let me use our locality now. Take for instance from Efuru to Ugeli.
Yes.
What was the price before now? The increment as it is today now is just 100 naira. So when you were taking in 400 naira,
now it's 600 naira.
It's 100 naira difference now.
600, 700, yeah.
100 naira, with 100 naira difference, or let me say 150 or 200 naira difference, that's the increment.
Okay.
So, but if you look at the way from 240 naira there about to 620 naira, also that 30 naira, it's more than 200%.
Okay.
But look at the transport. So who are those suffering it now? To me, the transporters are even the ones suffering it, not the passengers.
So would the buses, that's why I asked you, would the buses not help the transporter to deal with the issues on account of the increase in the pump price of fuel?
Yes,
and remember, he even said he's going to give them a 9% facility with 60 months repayment plan.
The Nigerian population is massive. Nigerian population is massive. The effect of that will not really be affect that much,
okay.
you know.
Okay, I'll agree with you, because I undermine you feel that would just be like a drop in the ocean and really no effect to come on account of it. Let me come to you now, Comrade FM&TV, and throw a similar question to you, because I want us to take it bit by bit and first look at the transportation. Now, the others have really come out this morning to say, rather than putting it into mass transit buses, why not into large vehicles that seem to transport goods and services? Because we do know that one major increase that Nigerians are presently going through is increase in products, goods and products, especially when it comes to food. And if you remember, food inflation has increased to 25.25% in the month of June, immediately taking effect to the total increase in the pump price of petrol. So don't you feel it would have been better into larger vehicles that will be helping to transport these agricultural products to the main urban and other centers rather than putting into mass transit buses? Like he said, it will have no really effect at the end of it.
Definitely, I will agree with him on that point, but not all the points he raised.
Okay.
It will not have major effect because of the population we have in the country is exploding. But you cannot build a palace without a king. You are talking about vehicles here and there to reduce cost of transportation to the civil servants and largely the public.
Yes.
Do you have the rules to apply those vehicles? That's another major question. If the roads are not good for you to apply, with which you apply those vehicles, how do you now reduce the cost of transportation? Did you not see what happened to your governor, was it last week or so, when he was stuck on in a flooded road?
Road, yeah, we do know.
Yes. So all these type of things are what the government should actually look into first before you now bring in these mass transit buses. Because by the time you bring them in no time, they will wear out. And when they wear out, then that money is gone down the drain. And again, to the managerial capability of we Nigerians, including myself, because I will not exonerate myself, we are not there yet. We believe that every opportunity we get from government is an opportunity for us to
you are agreeing with the problem of implementation. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, the problem of implementation is there. And if you say government should run it, it will be a bigger problem. In the sense that they would look, this is not my father's property, now government's property, what is your business there? We have some mass transit in Delta here. Where are they today? Can you find a single bus now? The answer is no. They brought in luxury buses, they brought in 14 passenger buses, but can you find anyone today?
Or that is Shopee plan.
Exactly. Can you find anyone today? While the private sectors are feeding fat from their businesses, but in the government sector.
So should that idea not now be put into large vehicles that transport agricultural products?
It should be diverted to that area. But like as I told you, you need to put the roads into the urban areas into consideration.
So you are saying that 100 billion will be more of a waste?
It will be more of a waste.
Okay, but Ejire again, I guess you're still there with us.
Yeah, I'm here. So
Okay.
I agree with
Comrade Odomo.
Comrade there, yes, Domo.
I agree with you. You have not greeted me today.
And that is exactly the point I am making.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a strong supporter of President Ahmed Tinubu, but I'm saying that, looking at previous experience,
Yes.
what do you call the Shopee, or
Yeah,
where are all
Shopee.
those buses on Shopee? Are you still seeing there? 2 years after that time, you didn't see those buses again. So the implementation is shabby. It's like a wasted fund.
Okay, now, Barrister Ejire again.
I want to make one important point.
Okay, Barrister Ejire again. Can we leave transportation and deal with other majors? Now, he talked about the increase in salaries of workers. But the question on the minds of many Nigerians... Hello?
Comrade Odomo, another major problem is the roads.
Okay.
The road is terrible, especially the road from the northern part to the southern part, because the northern part is feeding us here in the south.
Okay.
So the roads, we need to concentrate on the roads, and rather than spend this money on giving huge sums of money to transporters, give them to farmers and small and medium scale
he has a plan, Barrister Ejire again, he has a plan for farmers and medium and small scale enterprises. But I'll plead with you, we'll look at those plans later. But for now, he talked about the increase in salaries of workers. But many Nigerians are arguing, would there be a proper need to increase worker salaries when organized labor is just less than 20% of the workforce in Nigeria? And would that not have little or no effect if it goes ahead with the increase in salaries of Nigerian workers? I'm talking about those, especially in the public sector.
There will be need to increase worker salaries because the salary is no longer taking them home. So it will not have any effect on the economy by way of inflation because, like you rightly said, they are less than 10% of the even 5% of the population. So what impact will it have? Will there be too much money in circulation if you pay them? Rather, if you drive the economy, if you have more money in your possession, you will be buying more. And when you buy more, traders will sell. It will increase the volume of trade. The salary is so poor compared to what, the current prevailing economic circumstances. And so there will be need to increase the salary so that the workers can breathe. They are the ones, they are the workforce of the nation. Okay. They are the ones driving the economy. They are the ones driving the government. And so if they are not happy, government will be in a halt. So you need to make them happy by giving them...
So you are now in full support of, by Ejire, you are in total support of that increase in the salaries of public service workers.
That is a welcome development.
Okay, Comrade Odomo, I want you to respond to that also because we're looking at some of the palliative he has said, and that of our public servant workers. Yeah, he said it's definitely going to increase it. More like a smile for organized labor, but those in the private sector are wondering what it will mean for them. So would you also agree with Barrister Ejire again? That is a plan in the right direction?
Well, increasing the salary of the public servants, I think it's a good one. But how will it affect the private people? We have people these days, even in this our environment, that still earn as low as 10,000 naira per month. Some earn 7,500 per month. And when you commit any little offense in the office, they say they want to surcharge you. And they still remove some money from that money. And how will these people cope? Because when you go to the market woman is not going to differentiate between a public servant and the private worker.
Sector.
Yes, all the price will affect everything at the same level. So what I felt the government should have actually done, though it is not the government's duty to come and tell the private sector to start increasing the salaries of their people, it is to create an enabling environment where businesses will thrive. If you have that environment, anybody, anytime can increase the salary of his workers depending on what they are getting. The cost of running any company these days is far higher it's almost 100 times higher than what we were having even in the 90s. Okay. And these are the things that we should look into.
So it's all about increasing the business climate,
exactly.
Now translate into salaries being paid.
Exactly.
And an increase in that.
Exactly. If we don't do that, nothing will work. The whole thing will go down the drain. Don't forget, this problem we have started majorly from the time of Gowon. That was the time of Udoji, where salaries were paid arbitrarily. Some people were paid 2 times, 3 times because there was too much money. And Gowon came on air to say the only problem Nigeria has now is it's not because of money, but how to spend the money. But a few years later, when ABB came, ABB told us the truth, the plain truth. Every Nigerian child, even including the unborn, was owed about $5 to the international monetary world. And that is what we're experiencing today. This salary increase will not even benefit the civil servants. Because you don't behead yourself because you have headache.
But would it not even make the market women even want to increase?
I've said it earlier. They definitely will increase. They will tell you this is where my own palliative is coming from. This is where my increment is coming from.
Okay, well,
if you have headache now, you cannot behead yourself because you have headache.
Well, we're not taking it off, but rather go on a short break now. I'll plead with you to hold on, Comrade FM&TV. And also, Barrister Ejire Tagene, I will plead with you to hold on. Let's go on a break, but when we come back, we'll continue to look at some of other major palliative and the proposed plan by organized labor to still embark on a strike, irrespective of what Mr. President has brought out as a means to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel staff today. Let's go on a break.